Let's see. Did that work? Okay, I've got 5 check marks. I think that worked. When somebody joins, please let me know. Most importantly, please let me know if I sound like a dolphin, because sometimes when I mess with the streams, I end up sounding like a dolphin. And I still don't understand why, but that's just kind of how it is. So I've got door mysteriously. Was that a cat? I think that was a cat, but I'm really live. Or I'm really early. I am live as well, obviously. Or at least I hope I'm live. It's be very awkward if I am just thinking that I'm live, talking to nobody. Is that more or awkward than not knowing you're live and not talking? Because I definitely a couple of times have like thought that I've like ended the stream, and then someone messages me, "Psst, you're still on the stream," and I was like, oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Glad that what you see is what you get all the time, because otherwise this would be very awkward. I'm just kind of cleaning up my crafting area. If I show you what it looks like it looks like, it just looks like nonsense right now. There's just like, it's just complete chaos at this precise point in time. So I'm just kind of cleaning it a little bit. Maybe we'll just leave me over here though, because like my my background on the one side is very messy. Very, very messy. Yeah, so I don't actually have like a good plan for today. I was just gonna, I've got some stuff to paint. I've got some stuff to decorate. I've got some orders that need to be done. So I was just going to kind of slowly work through those while people are potentially hanging out with me, or not. Maybe I'm just, talking to myself, because that happens as well. But I've got these to decorate. Oh, hi. Hey, Junior. I see you over on YouTube. Thanks for joining. I got these to decorate. And then I've got, where did I put it? All these to paint, including my brand new jester horns. Look at these. I'm so excited. I literally just finished this mold. I'm so excited. I love the shape of them. I love how like they're gonna look. I'm very excited. So I've got some painting to do. I've got some orders to get put together. I've got a soda. I also have popcorn, but I had to put it all the way up because I need to go rescue my rescue dog. So I'll be right back. I need to go rescue him. He's stuck. I can hear it. Oliver, I'm coming. Come on. Yep, I'm coming. You ready? Okay. Okay. No, gotta go. Gotta go. I got you. I got you. I know. I know. I know. I know. There we go. Can I sit down, please? Can I sit down now? Can I sit down? Yeah. So I had to rescue Oliver. Let me switch back to this, because then you can kind of. Oh, I don't know if you can see him. He's here, right here, but kind of dark. Oliver. Oh, you're a good boy. Look how handsome he is. Look how handsome. I mean, he looks kind of demonic with his eyes kind of lit up like that. But this is Oliver. This is my current foster dog. He has neuro issues, so he's staying with us while we work on getting him fully back up on his feet. Are you planning to go see Mortal Kombat 2 in May? I don't know. Maybe. I did enjoy the first Mortal Kombat, so going to the movies is kind of hard though, because I never know like what my months are gonna look like. Like, I don't know if May is going to be crazy. I don't know if it's going to be chill. I have May the 4th at the beginning of the month. So I might be trying to catch up on orders. I might be just kind of vibing. Myself, Thermo Cosplay, and Jinx Cosplay have a potential stream idea, which I'll talk about more a little bit later, like at my actual start time, because I'm just really early. Are you going to cosplay for Star Wars Week? Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully I'll have my new Twi'lek done by then, but okay. I don't have any messages going. So-and-so is not working. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I might want to bring this up a little bit. So you guys have up. Yay. Okay. It's awkward when you don't go right where I want you. Okay. It's kind of slanted, but we might just have to deal with it because that's what I got. Over here. Yeah, okay. That's a lot happier with it a little further out. You guys saw a tiny glimpse of just how messy my crafting area is, but it's kind of how it do be. Okay, so I've got some horns that I made to paint. I've got one good set of jester horns and then one set of jester horns that I'm going to fix the ends because the ends broke as they came out of the mold. Whenever I have a new mold, it's always, there's always a little bit of like figuring out how to use it, figuring out how to cast into it, figuring out how it works. So unfortunately, I'm still figuring out this mold. And so I broke a couple. This is what it's supposed to look like. But so the mold goes all the way around. And you can see on this one, I don't really have any like registration keys or anything like that. On one of these, this one you can kind of see that unevenness. That's from the registration keys. So I was trying to see how few registration keys I could get away with while still being able to get it out of the mold. And the answer was a few more registration keys than I was actually using. But you know, that's the joy of a brand new mold is learning how it works and how I'm going to be successful. And this camera is so fucking askew. Askew, I say, askew. You good? Somehow I managed to flop into the space between the blankets. He's just special like that. Phil says, I ended up coming over from Twitch so I could chat. Have to have followed for a day first. Oh, yeah. Twitch, my settings are pretty severe because it's Twitch. So, yeah. I mean, anyone who's followed a female streamer on Twitch knows why my settings are that way. Especially a female streamer who tends to do adult content in other regards. I unfortunately have to be pretty strict with those, but make sure you follow so that next time you can chat. And thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm glad the link that I sent you actually was correct though. I had a moment of like, haven't been on Twitch reliably in like 10 years. So I was like, I don't even know if I'm successfully like streaming to it. That's always the kind of the crapshoot of only kind of like hodgepodgedly doing this. Kind of in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So, hi, Alamiria. Oh, that's pretty. Over on Twitch, thanks for joining. We are going to be painting here in a moment. Once I figure out what my like plan is. I've lost one of my horns. There's supposed to be 2 of these. Where'd the other one go? How do I lose a horn? I literally just had it. I literally just had it. All right, well, I guess I'm not painting these then because I don't know where the other one is. So put that over there. Okay, so I figured I'd start with, these are my new mud horn trophy. You can kind of see it's, nope. It's empty on the inside, so it's nice and light, but it's also pretty sturdy. So Django says, why does my phone never notify me when you get out on the, I don't know, maybe your phone is just like, she's always a disaster. Maybe go do something else that's less of a disaster. Lauren, cosplay problems, set something down, and it's cosplay combined with ADHD. I have no object permanence. It's all, if it's not right here, it's gone forever or until I find it again. So let me see. So here's some of the Star Wars trophies that I finished. I've been working on like cold casting these. These specific ones are spray painted, but I also have new Republic creds. They're pretty cool. I like them a lot. They got the Republic symbol on the back. So now I have old Republic creds, new Republic creds, and Imperial creds. So yay. As a fellow ADHDer, I feel this. Yeah. You understand the struggle of like, I just had it in my hand. Like I just had it in my hand. How? Where? Like the number of times I will be sitting in one place for like an hour and then suddenly I can't find something that I just had and I've not moved from the spot. And I'm just like, I can't even explain it. I can't even explain it. I can say though that it was very nice to learn I was ADHD and not just so blonde that it hurts. Where's my other, speaking of things that I just had another jump ring right here. And I have, oh, there it is. I've lost it. There we go. Okay, so I've got 3 of those. I'll put those together and then those go in the bowl. Is that a cat? If you hear a giant crash, it's because there's a cat in my fabric. They're not supposed to be in my fabric. Oh, no, there she is. Honey bun. Come here. Come here. Come say hi. Come say hi. Hi. Everyone say hi. This is Honey Bun. Just Honey Bun. Just Honey Bun. Mwah. Do you wanna stand for a second? Look. I'll give you, no, don't get my soda. Come here. Honey Bun. Come say hi to people. Yeah. So this is Miss Honey Bun over here, who is being difficult. Yeah, if you can kind of, I guess you can't because I closed the curtain, but there's bolts and stacks of fabric back there. And she likes to go in there and like climb up top, but it's like precariously balanced. So like one of these days, it's all going to come like crashing down. Phil says, I have that problem with code, ADHD, code monkey. Love. What kind of code did I just edit? And then I spent 20 minutes control effing to find it. Yeah, I can't imagine being ADHD and being like so dependent on every little asterisk. So, and she's gone. Okay, hold on. I don't want to keep leaning forward and squinting. Let me turn my size font up. There we go. I mean, now my, like, setup on my camera, my screen is insane, but I can actually, like, read your guys' comments. So, all right, let's go back to my crafting stream. Junior on YouTube asks, would you ever consider cosplaying as Nico Robin from One Piece? Once I know more about her, I've really liked her so far in the live action. And yes, I've only seen the live action. I don't want hate for it because the anime has like a freaking 1,000 episodes or something like that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time. I don't have energy. I just let my 18-year-old nephew, oh my God, he's like 22 now. Anyway, I let my nephew tell me about the anime because he watched all of it. Oh, Turco is joining us from Twitch. Finally able to chat. Congratulations. You have made the cut and you are now officially make that go away. I'm so discombobulated. I'm sorry, I'm like ADHDing, but like I'm so discombobulated because like I made the text big so I can read it, and now everything is like not where it was before, and I'm just like, wait, I'm so confused. Django says a lot of filler in One Piece anime and about 5 minutes of new content each episode. The rest is just people standing around and summarizing what just happened. Yeah, I find that true in a lot of anime. And a lot of like the K-dramas that I watch too, which love them, love K-dramas, love C-dramas, but like when you have like two characters like staring at each other for like 10 minutes from like different angles, I'm like, okay, thank you. Hurry it up. Move on. We're done with this. We've done this. We're good. Continue on. So I only see the live action on Netflix. I'm waiting to see the second season of Avatar: Last Ember. I am so excited for the next season of Avatar 2, even if I am cracking up that Aang is now a tall ass, fine looking man. Like I don't want to find Aang hot. Like I don't. And I think season 2 is going to make that happen. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if that's an okay thing to have happened. I mean, I've been a Zutara fan my entire life. So like I've never shipped Aang, and now he's just like this tall, handsome 18-year-old, and they're gonna make jokes about him being a little kid and stuff like that, and I'm gonna be like, nothing little about this dude. I just know it. And I'm not prepared for it. I'm not prepared. Okay, will you stop? Hold on. I need to retape. Can you deal? Somebody make a counter for how many times I say that I'm going to get a new camera before next stream. Let's take a bet on how long it takes me to actually get a new camera with like an actual hookup before stream. There. Okay, stay. I don't think it's going to stay. I have duct tape. I mean, I always have duct tape. Season 3, they cash in and let Aang be played by Jill. God. You know, I would have been like appalled by that, but I really loved him in Skeleton Crew. So I guess I'm a Jude Law fan now, specifically just because of him in Skeleton Crew. Like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you haven't seen Skeleton Crew, go watch Skeleton Crew. It and Andor were like the best, just straight up Star Wars TV cinema stuff in recent history. And Ahsoka has been like the best for like actual like Star Wars nerds. So this camera, is this even... This camera is so bad. Why do I keep streaming with this? Why do I keep streaming? Does Guild Wars 2 still exist? It does, and I haven't played it in years. Yeah. It's still pretty though. It's still so pretty. So pretty. Almarin. Oh, it's Almarin, not Almaria. Now I can actually read your name. Says, I loved Andor season 1. I did too. If you haven't seen season 2, part of me wants to say you have to see season 2, and the other part of me is like, if you are of the demographic that is currently living in fear of the world being on fire, season 2 is going to be like very close to home. Like they filmed everything before current events, and I'm just like, nope, feels too topical. Too soon. Don't like it. So, all right, let's pint. Ugh. That's going to be a pain to clean up later. All right, that's fine. Oh, hi, Miss Juno. Do you want to come back on my lap? No, she's just going to lay on a pile of fabric under the desk. Princess, do you want to come to my lap? No? Okay. Ugh. Pint. Jenga says I need to get back to Disney Plus at some point, but they kept raising the price very quick. Yeah, just wait until all of Mall is out, and then just get it for a like month. Watch Andor, Skeleton Crew, and Mall, and then cancel it. we also like rotate our observation or our subscriptions whenever we can remember to. That is like, it's not, we don't always do it because, well, ADHD, but hi Oro, thanks for joining us over on YouTube. Christat says Maul is so good, and I do need to finish Andor. Yes, you need to finish Andor, and I'm glad to hear that about Maul. I've already had people message me and be like, "Oh, there's an Amber character in it," and I was like, "Okay, so alien, right?" And yeah, there's like a purple, like Asari-esque bad guy. That was the other thing. I was like, "Oh, like a alien bad guy." Yeah, an alien, antagonist. And the answer was yes. Yes, it was an alien antagonist, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel about the fact that Amber is typecast as the alien. There's a Twi'lek too. Yeah, but there's like a Twi'lek Jedi. People never tell me about the Jedi. They always tell me about the bad guys. They're always like, oh, there's this like horrendous person who blows up the moon. You've got to cosplay her. And I'm like, I swear I'm nice. Like, I swear I'm nice. I don't want this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, she was chewing on thread. Thread is the word I'm looking for. I have a flair for villainy. I also have it's the cheekbones. Everyone's always like, you just make such a good bad guy. I'm like, it's the cheekbones. Just the cheekbones. Aren't you the one who wants to solve problems with liberal amounts of credit? Look, that's not me. That's Rio. Okay. She does what she does. I just let Rio be Rio. But yes, liberal amounts of grenades is Rio's general go-to tactic. I am looking for brushes that are not tiny, and I don't know where I put them. I just want to remind people that I was early for my stream, and I don't want to hear that I was early because I'm not prepared. Even though it does really seem like I was early because I'm just not prepared. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, look, here's my little like wing mechanism. Popsicle sticks and brads. Wing. Also not useful right now. Okay, well, I guess we're just dealing with what we're dealing with, which means I have one large brush, which is only so helpful. I swear to God. Swear to God. All right, so I am going to start with these. So when I am painting, I need you to go down. Can you please chill just a second? Down, 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 down. Makes me look a little bit weirder, but that's fine. Okay, so I have two kind of ways of achieving kind of the same-ish paint job. I can either start with a white and then build in the brown and then recover the white later, or I can start with a brown and layer on the white. And both of them kind of end up with a slightly different like finish at the end. With the brown, when I layer on the white, I get definitely more of a muddy white over top, because obviously you're seeing the brown through the layers of paint, like the ambience of the layers of paint. And when I do the white, I get a brighter white, but sometimes it can look a little two-tone if I don't do several different kind of like washes and colors. So for the white ones, we're going to start with the dark brown, and then we're going to work in some, that's the kittens. They're getting cranky because it's dinner time. So Django says, Amber, I'm a good guy. I am a good guy. Also, Amber strangles people to death. Like, it's cosplay. It's cosplay, and I want to play at somebody who doesn't have conflict avoidance issues. Heard a rumor that Rio shot through a hostage to back her mark. That sounds like something Rio would do. She wouldn't, like, she'd try and make it like a non-lethal shot. Like, she's not like a senseless murder or anything like that. And like, that's like, she's not like a bad person, but she's also like not the type who's gonna, like, in her mind, it'll be better for the hostage to have one bullet shot from her than be shot multiple times by her mark trying to get away. Kind of the like lesser of evils. Do I not have? Okay, so normally I have a painting rag. Oh, I do have a painting rag. Haha! Here's my painting rag. Okay. Cosplay is it's not very green. So like I try and find ways to be as green as I can when I can. And one of the things I do is I use painting rags instead of paper towels when I can. Because one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my brush. And then use a kind of wetter paint for the lowest layer. And the wetter paint is, as you can see, it doesn't like stay very well, but what it does do is it gets in the nooks and crannies really well. And that's what I want, is I want the deepest colors in all the nooks and crannies. So I just do that, and then I wipe most of it off. And what I've got left is mostly brown in the darkest of crevices. And this one, it's not as marked with this one because I didn't do super deep striations and stuff like that. But with some of my other horns where I do have like deep texturing and stuff like that, it's much more pronounced. But this is kind of how I start. And the nice thing about painting organic things is you really don't have to worry about being precise. You can be, pretty messy with this stuff. Like, I'm not worrying about getting it exactly where I want it to go. I just want to get it where it kind of naturally goes. And that's where the kind of more organic paint job is going to show up. Let's see. When they won't come willingly, you do what you got to do. Yeah, you know. And she's ultimately doing that hostage a favor, because the sooner she gets the mark out of the way, the less time the hostage spends as being a hostage. And Phil says, as a programmer who has never done anything artistic in life, this is fascinating. Yeah, thank you. So you can kind of see, I did my first layer of really wet paint, and now I'm going in and I'm doing kind of more normal paint to keep building this up. And it depends on like how deep you want your shadows to be. I want these shadows to be pretty deep. So I could have even started with like a black and done like a little layer of black first. And that would have been effective too. I don't want black necessarily on this, so I'm okay with just using the dark brown. And I do want to be kind of deliberate as far as like being pretty heavy-handed with the brown up here and then less down here, because I know that I'm going to paint that white. So it's fun. I like it. I like painting organic stuff because you really you really can't go wrong. Like you can be unfinished, but you don't generally have an issue where you go wrong. So that's kind of the first little bit of it. You can kind of see that it's kind of hanging into more of the striations. I don't know how much you guys can actually see. I don't know how bad this camera is. Like, if you guys can't see anything and you just want me to just like make like this camera, the big one, and then just like show you guys every so often, please let me know. I don't know how bad the car. You are a mad creative Jesus. Aw, thank you. I appreciate it. Like, I really am very gifted to do, or I'm very privileged to do what I do and get to do things like this for a living. Oh, I can't do that. I have my hair up in a clip, not in a bun. I usually stick the paintbrushes into my bun, but I can't do that when it's in the clip. The clip is just a little bit like it, just a little bit like nicer. So, Mission Control been doing well in it. Yeah, he's hanging in there. He's just chilling. We've got a Critical Role later tonight that we're going to be watching. I'm super excited about that. And I'm going to continue to try and convince Mission Control to model Belair's mask for me. It will work one day. Okay, so there's the first layer of brown. You can see it looks pretty splotchy. It looks pretty kind of tattered and stuff like that. That's fine. That's fine. We like where we are right now. You know, she's a work in progress. Especially with painting, if it looks bad, then it's not that it is bad. You're just not done. You just have some more painting to do. So now I'm going to take this color. It's kind of like a bronze yellow is what it's called. But it gives, when I'm painting like an aged piece, I want to give it a little bit of yellow, kind of worn undertones. I really wish I had a different brush though. Like, I really don't like that brush. The brushes might be in the other room. So hang tight for like 2 minutes. I'm going to go see if I can find a different brush because I don't like that brush. It's too rough. It's too rough. Be right back. All right. Doggos, stay. No, Cal, stay. 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 2 minutes. 2 minutes. My wide bristle brushes aren't out there either. I have no idea where they are. We're gonna try the smaller brush. If it irritates me too much, we are going to be switching to something else though, because I need to like dig through my crap and find my wide bristle brush. Because look at the brushes I have. These are too small. Like that's like half the size of what I want. I want a nice wide bristle. And I have them. I've got like 6 of them, but they're all together and they're all together somewhere. They're all in one place that I don't know where it is. I have no idea. All right, let me catch up on comments. Does Rio cosplay to infiltrate high society events? She definitely does. Yeah, there's I just did a photo shoot. I guess I didn't just do a photo shoot, but I did a photo shoot earlier last year where I did like a whole like evening gown look for her. And the idea is that, you know, she takes advantage of the fact that Twi'leks are so ubiquitous and so assumed to be kind of like the help that, you know, she can very quickly, you know, assume this like guise of, you know, just the eye candy, you know, just the person who, or the pretty lady who's just there to, because she got hired to make, you know, like to be a booth babe essentially. So she has fancy looks for that. Like 8 or 9 years ago, I did like a dancer look where she had like the slave collar and everything, only her collar was always open because she would never actually go back to letting someone actually put a collar on her. So like the idea with Rio is that, you know, she kind of like, I don't know if anyone remembers that old show Alias, where Jennifer Garner would like put on different like outfits and stuff like that. Yeah, like Rio, that's one of the fun things I get to do with Rio is that she gets to, you know, assume different identities and stuff like that. Just kind of like becomes whoever she needs, whatever makes sense to get into her mark. Phil says it's past 10 p.m. on a work night, so I'm going to flee to bed. Night, Phil. Thank you for lurking. Junior says, which anime would you like to have a live action faithful adaptation, Amber? Apothecary Diaries. Spy X Family. That would be fun. But I hate live adaptations that have like kids in them, because unless you film all of the kids back to back to back, like all of the seasons back to back, the kids don't remain the right age. And they actually made a joke about this in a series of unfortunate events, and they filmed those pretty, like they filmed all the seasons pretty close to each other, and they still made a joke from the end of one season to the next that like, oh, and it looks like Sunny's grown like a whole 2 years. And I was like, yeah. Janko says, I love the dancer look. Sad there was never a photo set. There was. There was some fuckery that went on with it. So it never got into my hands to put up. At some point, I'm hoping to redo a dancer look for her and retain control over, you know, like make sure Mission Control Photography does the photography instead of other people that then don't give me my photo set. Yep. Oro says, it's been a hot minute since I've thought of Alias. I know, right? I forget why it popped into my mind the other day. But, okay, so going back to this, I want to layer up some yellow, and I want like enough on my brush that it's going to like go on, but not so much that I'm going to like drown the black or drown the dark brown. So calling for a vote about new dancer Rio. I've got to get a Lyra done before I can do more Rio stuff. I've had a Lyra's headpiece done for months at this point. I just need to get the stuff together to do the rest of her look. So I don't even think that I have the dancer set, like Rio's old dancer set. I don't even think I have that anymore. It's hard because like sometimes those things get repurposed into other outfits, and sometimes the material gets repurposed into other cosplays. And sometimes I pull something out and I look at it and I go, oh my God, it's terrible. And I throw it away. And I've done that with several Rio looks. Like, I don't know if anyone remembers, I had this like light blue, it had like black here. It was like a bodysuit that had black hair and like light blue panels on the side. And people kept saying it looked like Rio was trying to be naked in it. And I ended up like literally throwing that away because I was like, that did not work. It did not do what I wanted it to do. So I ended up completely just throwing that one away. But yeah, Rio dancer look, there is potential plans. I also just want to be like deliberate with that cosplay because Rio's backstory is that she started as basically just pretty eye candy. She was basically weapons fodder for a hut. So she was owned by a hut and she was trained in martial arts and stuff like that, like combat skills and stuff like that, with the explicit purpose of if anyone ever threatened the hut, she was supposed to basically throw herself in the line of fire. Like the idea was that you die before the hut dies. Like if someone is coming after the hut, you are expendable, so go be expendable. So for Rio, having someone else have, power over her in that way is it's like it's a big part of her character that she doesn't want anyone to ever have power over her like that again. It's a very big, like, even in like when we do photo shoots and stuff like that, you'll notice that like I don't like portraying her in a way that like she's weak or helpless or anything like that, because she's not. She spent most of her life weak and helpless, and she is 1,000% living her life in a way that she will never be weak and helpless again. So when it comes to photo shoots and stuff like that, like I liked my old dancer look, but now looking back at it, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I would want to do that photo shoot in a way that like it's all her one-upping, like the person who thinks that, she's just a dancer, and not necessarily putting herself in a position where she's like not in power. So, Junior says I would like a live action adaptation of Justice League show if I wasn't clear. I mean, I liked the new Superman, and I know it's not the show, but like I really liked David Cornsweet as Superman. So if they can just like stay delivering good things, I would be really happy. Hopefully you haven't hated on Hut Slayer Lair. You nailed it. I love the hut skin cloak. I feel like your Rio Prince showed me in my last moments before she kills the shit out of me. That's kind of so there is this thing that I talk about sometimes where, you talk about like the female gaze and you talk about the male gaze. I like the gaze of the awkward boner. And what I mean by it is you're looking at this photo and you're like, this is really hot. Like, I really like this. This is really attractive. I really am enjoying this. But also I kind of feel like I shouldn't. Like, I feel like I should be like afraid, or like, like worried or something like that. And I really love finding characters and finding photos and stuff like that, photo sets where the viewer kind of lives in that like awkward boner place where you're just like, ooh, hot, but ooh, but also like, ooh, but also ooh, like I like I like making people feel conflicted in that way. That's my favorite. This is my favorite for people to be like, I don't know how to feel about this. And I'm like, good, good. Be be excited and also a little confused and also a little worried and also a little excited, but also very confused and also a little worried. So Oro says, boy, I was zoned out and came back at the right time. Awkward boner. Junior says, I understand you like him as Superman, but I wasn't ready to let Henry Cavill go. And when he announced he wasn't Superman, so it was on my birthday. Yeah, Henry Cavill got fucked. And that was bullshit. That was bullshit. I would have loved to see Henry Cavill under a different director because I did not vibe with Henry Cavill's Superman. Not because I didn't vibe with Henry Cavill, but because I didn't vibe with that depiction of Superman. So I would have loved to see what he could have done with a different director. And it sucks that he basically, got the butt end of that deal. He lost both Witcher and Superman for BS reasons. Like BS reasons. Oh, I need the thingy. Okay. All right. So in my little thingy, I have white. I am just going to, I don't want pure white on this yet, so I'm just going to mix it in with some yellow so I can get like a off-white. And then we're going to do another layer. And so for those of you who are counting, we are now on layer 3. So that is the next layer. And then this layer, I'm doing what's called dry brushing. So I'm basically holding my brush at kind of an angle, a pretty sharp angle, because I don't want, what I want to do is I want to skim along the ridges. That leaves the dark colors that I've already implemented in place, and this lets this kind of like highlight the higher colors. And you'll see that I'm kind of starting at the bottom here. This is just kind of how I tend to work the colors, is I tend to work from the most like visually complex part up to the kind of least. And like the tip is going to be like the least colors because it's mostly going to be white with a little bit of the off-white showing through. So I want to make sure that I get the layered colors. And see, I went a little too heavy on the paint there, and now those striations are filled in, which is annoying. I will probably go back and fix that. But this layer is going to help kind of even everything out. It's going to help, like I said, highlight the high parts. And it's going to start pulling everything together so that it's not looking like a weird hodgepodgey mess. And again, like I'm just doing little bits at a time. And if I think it needs more, I go back, and I'm literally just kind of skimming my brush over the top because I want to hit all of the high points and a little bit of the midpoints without losing the shadows that I've already kind of built up in the darkness. And I'm also like deliberately starting with the most paint up here on my brush. So that way, by the time I get down here, it's much more subtle because I want this end to be like the darkest. So you can kind of see it starting to actually play the way it's supposed to. This is This is where if you've been in like telling yourself, trust the process, trust the process. Well, this is the process. This is where we're going. Jago says Henry Cavill always gets screwed, and they say too young to be James Bond, and then they need a new Bond suddenly too old. Yeah, he would have been a really good Bond. Like I liked Daniel Craig, is as a Bond, but I think Henry Cavill would have nailed it. Almarin says if I was counting layers, I forgot. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's fine. It's just a thing you can do. You don't have to. The only time I need to actually like keep track of stuff like that is like when I'm like casting. If I'm trying to cast like a set like these, I need to keep track of how much resin I put in, because if I don't keep track and I just, go with whatever amount of resin feels good for vibes, end up with one really heavy one and one really light one, and then it feels awkward on your head. So that's the only time that I'm really got to pay attention. So I'm going to get just a little bit more yellow in this white. I tend to only use pure white as like the last kind of hit layer. Just because like, I don't think it looks very authentic for it to be like white. Like even bleached bone is usually like a really light yellow white. So, and then this whiter, we're going to start up here and be hitting all the way down. And this is the fun part, because this is the time where like it really starts to all like come together as like a really cool looking prop. And this is actually the first time I've actually seen this prop painted up, because I literally just cast the first ones of these. So this is exciting for me to be seeing this starting to come to fruition when I spent weeks sculpting it and then weeks molding it, and now we're finally getting it done. And I don't know if I'll get to it on stream, but once I'm done with it, I will let it dry completely, and then I will hit it with varnish. With things that are bone in nature, I tend to use a satin varnish because I want them to have a little bit of a shine, but I don't want them to be glossy. And the varnish just helps hold the paint in place. So now I've got the base kind of color. I'm just kind of going in and layering a lot more white from the tip down. And I'm going a little heavier on the white because I want to create like really like sharp whites from up here down. And again, just light. For this part, I like a bristle brush that is pretty soft, but is not super soft. Because if it's super soft, it's just going to go like into all like the crevices and stuff like that. If it's only a little soft, it's got to be soft enough that I don't see brush strokes. Like I don't want to see like streaks, like the bristle impressions left behind, but I don't want it so soft that it's going into all the crevices. So Amorin says, with painting then, is there a point where you're doing too much? I feel like I'm doing too much when I paint. I would say if you get to the point where you have covered up your previous work, you probably wasted some time. I don't think there's a thing as doing too much. If you build up paint and you build up paint layers, if you are doing it in a way that you can still see all the previous layers, what you're going to do is create a more highly contrasted or like video game like look, which might be too much. If you're going for realistic, and you build up to that level of high contrast, it can read as kind of a little cartoony, a little bit more like video gamey. And if that's not what you're looking for, then yeah, you've done too much. But as far as like the actual painting process itself, the only time you do too much is if, like, for instance, if I completely painted this white and lost all of these details, you probably did too much. You probably like went too overboard on the previous layers. So I always say, if you are unsure about a paint job, there's two things you can do. The first thing you can do is look up reference photos and kind of compare what you've got to those reference photos. The other thing is you can put it away for 24 hours and then come back to it and see how you feel once you come back to it. So you'll notice that I did not bother painting the inside. It's because I'm going to put a little cap across the top so that dirt and stuff doesn't get in the inside. So this one, since it's already dark inside, I probably won't bother with a cap. I'll probably, oh wait, no, it's kind of weak. No, yeah, I'm going to cap this one too, because it's kind of, I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of broken right there. That means I didn't get a good solid layer of resin right there. So I'll probably cap this one as well, just to reinforce that. But voila, painted, unpainted. Pretty good, eh? Pretty good, eh? Dun, 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 dun. This is supposed to be like a mini mud horn from Mandalorian. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a mini version of the mud horn. I don't know how successful I was. I think it looks really cool. So Django says, Amber, I have to ask for something selfish. Ask away. Be selfish. Go for it. The worst I can do is laugh at you. I won't. I will laugh with you. But, See? You can see you got multiple colors in there. You've got dark browns, you've got the oranges, you've got the orangey dark browns, the whites, the yellows, and stuff like that. I need a few minutes of your time on Discord when you're not busy. Yeah, I'll try and hop on Discord, because once I'm done here, I'm gonna go play 7 Days to Die is what I'm going to do. But if I'm around tomorrow afternoon, so you can even poke me on Discord. I think I have notifications turned on, I think. I can't remember. Yeah, I'll try and hop on tomorrow. Which is a great segue to, I will be streaming again next week at this time, but instead of doing cosplay stuff, I'm going to be gaming. Woo! So if you ever are like, what does this ADHD idiot do in her video games? You're going to find out. It is almost certainly going to be 7 Days to Die, which is a zombie survival tower defense game. And depending on where I'm at, I will either be working on a new stupid base, horde base idea, or I will be starting a brand new playthrough with the Jinx cosplay. So I don't know if she's going to be joining me. I don't know if I'm going to be just working on I have a save file right now that is on day 270. It's naturally on day 270. That's not, I didn't jump forward. I literally have played 270 hours of this game. I like it a little bit. And this file has a different type of horde base in every biome. And I have one that I need to finish in the wasteland. And it's going to be the Tower of Death. And it's basically, I've taken over Ostrich Hotel in the wasteland, and I'm going to each level inside of the hotel itself force the zombies to run the full circuit and do different traps in each level. So it's going to be a, like, go to the first checkpoint, shoot the zombies or melee them until they break through all those traps, and then move up, and then they follow you and stuff like that. So Matt says, most impressive. Rock on, Miss Brite. It should be fun. I'm the type of gamer who, when I find a video game I like, I play it an excessive amount. Like Mission Control, my husband will be playing like anywhere from like 5 to 20 different games at any given time. I play one, maybe two. I can be talked into other games, but usually, if left to my own devices, there is one game I'm playing. I play it until I'm dead, essentially, or something else diverts me. Before 7 Days to Die, it was Ark Ascended. I loved that game, even though that game really doesn't want you to enjoy playing it. And if you've ever played Ark, you understand what I mean when I say that's a game that does not want you to enjoy playing it. It wants to punish you for playing it. But dinosaurs. So I stuck with it for a really long time. And then before that, it was I had a repo stint. I might try and get Jinx and Thermo to both play repo with me. That would be pretty funny. Django says, I only have your work Discord, I think, so don't wait on the wrong one. Good point. I will switch over to my work Discord tonight. Hopefully. Hopefully I remember to do that. Yeah. Work Discord. Yeah. But yeah, so join me next week, this same time. And it'll probably be an hour or two. I might start at 6 just because, babes, like 7 to 9 p.m. It's so late. Like 9 o'clock is like, Amber's done. Amber doesn't want to be wearing a bra. Amber doesn't want to be talking to people. Amber wants to be conked out on the couch. So I'm trying to stream in the evenings because I know most of my people prefer evening streams, but I don't want to stream too late because I get tired and sleepy and cranky. And I don't like being out. And being on stream is still out regardless. So next week, this bat time, this bat place, I will be streaming. I just have to get the computer area set up to accept me being in there. That'll be the big trick this week because like where I used to sit in the office has since become like the cat's domain. So like I've got to go move a bunch of cat stuff so that I can reclaim my location. Okay, so I'm painting this one, and you'll see that I'm kind of being pretty messy with the yellow. This one, instead of like having to be heavy with the dark to build it up, I'm going to have to be heavy with the light to build it up. So I'm going to be starting with a pretty heavy layer of yellow so I can start getting that depth of color into what I'm looking at. You need to stop grumbling. It's fine. They're grumpy because I haven't fed them. Almarin says, my friends all want to go out around 10, 12 p.m. And it's like, I work, I sleep at that. You know, like I set my own schedule, so I could go out at 10 and 11. And I'm gonna throw her under the bus. The Jinx cosplay always wants to do stuff at like 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, Jess, I am tired. I am an old person. I want to go home and I want to be in my like pajamas and stuff. And she's like, karaoke. And I'm like, can we do it at 3? She is never impressed by me wanting to go out at 3 p.m. So he's like, that's not when we do karaoke. And I'm like, okay, but Jess, I'm tired. I'm tired and I'm old. Let me bring this down just a little bit because I feel like it's a little bit high for what I'm doing. It's gonna like drop down. I just know it is. It's gonna, yep. See, oh, there we go. I feel like I put that right in my face. Okay, well that's fine. If I end up over here, just yell at me that I'm blocking myself off. But I wanted to like be a little bit closer so you guys can kind of see, because this is kind of like the opposite technique from the other one I just did, Where the other one was light and I had to build up the dark. This one's dark and I have to build up the light. Something, child of the prophecy or something like that, right? You need to return the light to these lands. Okay, and I'm just going to go kind of, I'm not worrying too much about like being super like coating up here because this is going to be all much lighter. Let's see. Junior says, Amber, would you cosplay as Supergirl when the new film comes in June? Maybe. If I like the film and if I feel like I can do something interesting with the cosplay. For me personally, I don't find joy in doing cosplays that are well represented. And it's not to say that like I'm over here like, oh, I don't cosplay. I cosplay from niche sources. Don't get it twisted. This is not me bad mouthing like popular cosplays. God knows every Alistair I see, and I can see 100 Alistairs. I will be so fucking excited about every single one of those Alistairs. So like, please do not like walk away from this going, oh, Amber was bad mouthing popular cosplays. That's not it at all. For me personally, for the creative process to be rewarding, I need to feel like I have something interesting to add to the conversation when it comes to that cosplay. I don't find joy in being completely screen accurate. And that's just me. That's just how I've always been. I like to kind of go off on slightly wild tangents. I like doing things in cosplay that are a little bit unique. And I'm not gonna say have never been done before, because let's just be honest, everything in cosplay has been done before, like by somebody somewhere. There's like we can do fun mashups and stuff like that, but those are still ideas that kind of that we're recombining that other people have done. So like, this is not me sitting here and saying, oh, I only cosplay things that nobody's done before. I only cosplay things where I feel like I have something interesting to add. So I don't find joy in getting like cosplays from like Pro Cosplay or whatever and looking identical to the character in the movie. Will you stop groaning? You will get food. You're not dying. I promise you're not dying. If you hear that groaning, it's the boxer throwing a hissy fit because I haven't fed him yet. So, yeah. But yeah, like I like, for instance, Bo-Katan is a really good one. A lot of people are like, you're gonna cosplay Bo-Katan, right? Like she's a badass Mandalorian. She's like exactly your type, and like like you can get the cosplay and stuff like that. Like there's lots of reasons that I would cosplay Bo-Katan. The reason I don't is because I don't feel like I have anything interesting to add to a Bo-Katan cosplay. I just don't. I think her character design and character concept is pretty much peak, and I don't want to change it or anything like that. Versus like my Hut Slayer Leia, I did cosplay her and rock her once I thought of the Hut cape. Once I thought of the Hut cape, I'm like, okay, now I can be excited about this cosplay. And sure enough, the Hut cape is what makes me love that cosplay the most. And trust me, when I see other like perfect, like, could be Carrie if you didn't look at her, for long enough. When I see cosplayers that are like that, I'm astounded. Like when you can emulate somebody so well that you're kind of a mirror of them, that's amazing to me. Like that's so cool. But it does not make my little ADHD brain go yay. So it makes my little ADHD brain go, bored. So you can see kind of where we're at. And you're going to see that no matter how much I paint this one, it is never going to be as light as this one. And so like that's the kind of decision that you have to make when you're making the base material, is like, what do you want it to look like at the end? Do you want it to, because the darks on this are never going to get as dark as on this one. The lights on this one are never going to get as light as the lights on this one. So like, what is it that you want it to look like? And like, is it between? Like, do you want to make a yellow base so that you can get the darks and the lights more balanced, you know, instead of having dark darks or light lights? If you go with like a yellow base, you're going to get darks that are dark and lights that are light in kind of the same steps. Does that make sense? Like if you're over here and you put lights on it, or, you know, put your white, it's only going to get to here. Whereas if you start with the whites, you're only going to get your darks to here. But if you start in the middle, both your whites and your darks are going to be kind of the same amount. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't even know like how to properly explain that. But like the base color that you start with has a massive effect on how your thing looks when you're done with it. So Matt on Twitch says that was awesome. It feels like Leia was channeling her bio dad there. Yeah, and I have plans to add more to it as well, and turn it into more of like a like, what if Leia just stayed in that bikini and like didn't get rescued and just took it upon herself to get herself out, like a kind of like a Viking Hut Slayer look. I need a Salacious Crumb head. That's what I need. But I don't want to like buy a full like Salacious Crumb toy just to like cut off the head. So if anyone knows anyone who has a broken Salacious Crumb puppet and or toy who will ship me the head so that I can put it on my Hut Slayer Leia, that would make me very happy. Because like I looked, and even like the Salacious Crumb stuffed animals are like freaking like $80. And I'm like, nope, not going to do that. Not going to pay $80 just to chop it apart. So, and then I get mad because I'm like, this is what Facebook Marketplace would be best for. Like, I want to go on and be like, who has like a kid who had a Salacious Crumb toy and now is like over it, because I would like that Salacious Crumb toy. My boy Salacious Crumb, yeah. Like I got it. Like if you gain a trophy for your slaying your job, yeah, exactly. Elmoran says, if my friends ever is to be garbaged, I'll keep you in mind. Thank you. You know, if they, you know, if it falls off and you're like, oh, I'm gonna throw it away, don't throw it away. Send it to Amber so that she can put it on a loop on her belt. Maybe put his like little hands hanging down from it too. New headline: Amber Brite takes toys from show, right? The number of times that I've like, oh, like this, like I go into the Goodwill section and like I'm in like the toy section and I'm just like, I specifically try to look for the toys that are already broken, like the Nerf guns that don't work and stuff like that. Like I try to buy the stuff that I think no one else is going to buy, because I'm going to, you know, be like taking it apart. Like I don't need it to be working. I just need the shape of it so that I can, you know, gut it and use it for something else. But I did walk away with the Mando rifle, the Nerf Mando rifle, and it is fully working. And I was like, I have no regrets. I'm taking this. I'm using this for my character. So I'm going to be using that for my Twi'lek. My next official Twi'lek Mandalorian, I should say. All right. Okay. Here, now you can see the two compared to each other. Can you? Can you? Can you? Can you? Can you? Oh my God, I am incapable of moving things around. Okay, but yeah, so see what I was saying. Whites are the whitest here. Darks are the darkest here. Like what you want determines like what color you should start with, basically. So, but those are the two. And I basically use the same paint for both of them and use the same procedure for both of them. I generally go with these because I like the higher contrast look. So most of the time when I'm casting horns and stuff up, I do go with the kind of the darker look. But sometimes it's good to have the lighter look. And these are both lighter because these are the first casts from my new mold. So this is, I was still kind of making sure that the mold worked and stuff. So I wasn't going to bother worrying about, oh, and this is actually my master. Like this one, I was like, why is this one so thick? So the way I make molds is I use silicone, and silicone does wear out, break down, stuff like that over time. So whenever I make a new mold, I make a very thick cast for the first one, and that becomes my master. So this one is got much thicker walls than I would normally make. Like this one probably weighs like 4 times what this one does. And this one is one that I cast. As you can see, I put holes in it so that I could hang it up. Which I don't know why I did that because I'm going to cap this one because it's white on the other side. I should put holes in this one. So I don't know. But yeah, this is going to be my master. So that way this can go in a box on my shelf. And when the mold that I have starts to get old and break apart and tear and stuff like that, I don't have to resculpt it. I can just pull this one out, mold on top of this, pop it out, and kind of keep going. So yeah, so this one will not be painted. This one will be going into a box. I need to do that with the jester horns too, but the jester horns are more difficult because I have an actual deadline for these for Saturday. And I'm also behind on other orders. So I need to make a master of the jester horns, but I just haven't gotten to it. Like I just haven't had the time. I'm having, for those of you who've been around know that I had issues with migraines and they've been really bad recently, like really bad. So I am still playing catch up after losing 5 days last week. Yeah, 5 out of 7 days I was not able to do anything. So, and when it's just you being sick means nothing gets done. There's no one to come in or help or anything like that. There's no sick time. It's just you just don't get things done. And you gotta bust ass to try and catch back up. So I'm still in the catch up phase from last week. So I will make a mold of the jester horns later, or I won't. And future Amber will be very annoyed. Because sculpting things like the jester horns, I feel like I sculpted very quickly, and that was still 3 days of sculpting that I did. And I feel like I did them so fast. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and make caps for these, I think. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, poll time. Do you guys want to see me paint the jester horns to see what those look like painted up? Or do you want to see me put a cap on these and see what these look like when they're finished trophies? Paint or cap construction? Paint or construction? Paint or construction? I know I can make polls. I wonder if I can make a poll. Nope. I just made myself go away. Wait. Okay, I made myself come back. Guys, I was born in the wrong century. I am useless when it comes to here. What's this? Okay, I don't know what that did. I don't know if you guys see anything of when I'm... Okay, well, we have 1 for... Oh, no, that's 2 for painting. Okay. we're going to paint then. I think I have to move my thingy back up because I think the jester horns are kind of big. All right, for the jester horns, I do not want this color in it. Matt has to run for the evening. Have a good night. Bye, Matt. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for chillaxing. Oh, I'm actually going to, I want to glue this together first. Wait, does this one go to this one? I think those goes. Nope, this does one. I'm so annoyed that I broke 2 of them. Like, I'm so annoyed. Okay, so this glues back on. Not there. Like here-ish? There-ish? See, I feel like it's smaller down here. No, that definitely goes right there. Okay. Yeah, that's where that goes. Okay. I'm going to glue this in place. We're going to use a little bit of... And it's okay that I broke these the way that I did because I'm just going to make haps for the end of them. I don't want to hold it. There's another one. Hello. Hello. Oh my God. Is it this one? Can't get this one open though. Let this be a lesson to you. When you're using super glue, always wipe the tip so that you don't end up having to pry it apart like I do. Every time I'm like, I'm going to do it different this time. I'm going to remember to wipe the tip. And then every time I just kind of put it back regardless. And I'm just like, oh, well, that's future Amber's problem. And this is specifically CA glue. I like the Gorilla Glue because it is cyanoacrylate or something like that, as opposed to the other formulations. So I have to praise for barely breaking any safety rules this stream. Yeah, because we did paint and stuff. Don't really have to worry when I'm just painting. Okay. And this is not going to be super secure or anything like that, but I just want it to be in place so that way I can put like leather or something around it or a cap or something like that. So. And I did not glue myself to it. Yay, go me. Ah, so proud of myself. Okay. All right, we're going to put that off to the side. Just going to put you over there. Just gonna let you vibe over there. Well, you should really learn to accept compliments. No, you can't make me. This is what Mission Control has to deal with all the time. Yeah, and it glue me to it. I am sure every cosplayer has said this at least once. Yeah, it's especially bad when I say that after I'm dealing with hot glue. Because, like, if you are gluing yourself to something with hot glue, you probably have blisters with it as well. Except if you're me, when you have no feeling in your fingers anymore. Like, it's a regular thing that we make, like, things with tortillas and stuff like that. And I like to warm up the tortillas in a pan. And I just grab it and flip it. It drives Mission Control crazy because he's always like, stop it. You shouldn't be proud of that. I'm like, it's fine. I don't need feeling my fingertips, right? But yeah, so this stuff all is yellowy. So I want yellowy. I guess. All right, I'll just do it this side. Oro, you're really pretty. Me short-circuiting for a bit before I imagine. Thank you. Yeah. Jenga's like, no feelings, no preference. No, I have so many feelings, and they are in order of bigness: anxiety, worry, anxiety, distractedness, anxiety, thinking too much about my current C drama that I'm watching. Just kind of on endless cycle. Okay. Wait, are you describing your feelings or mine? Elmorin, you are my people. You are my people. I'm just gonna say, Little Blue Mando over on Twitch. Hi, cutie. Are you my Little Blue Mando? SVC's Little Blue Mando? I guess I shouldn't claim you. Are you Arizona's Little Blue Mando? I'm gonna have to tell your hubs that I'm like, no, I claimed her. She's mine. She's mine. You thought you did? Nope. Nope. She's mine. I really should move the paint water away from being right next to my drink. Though I will say this is why I like to drink the bottles of soda when I'm painting, because if I drink the bottle of soda, the likelihood that I will drink the paint water is very low. It's never zero, but it's much lower. Okay, so I want to build a nice gradient. So I'm going to start with, I think I want a reddish brown. Did I bring my reddish brown? I don't think I brought my reddish brown. I think I have to leave you guys again. Yeah, I brought my black. Do I want to build the reddish brown? Yeah, we'll just do it this way. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. The worst that can happen is I need to repaint it. Okay, that's the worst. Whoops, not this. Not this. This is not helpful. I used you already. Go away. Go away. I need to order more white paint. I need to order more white paint. Okay, so I'm going to start a pretty even mix. I want a nice, like, step up from this. So I'm just going to kind of keep pulling things together until I get that. Whoops, no, golly. All right, I think that's pretty good. So, see, I like. Okay, so I am going to take a moment to kind of look at my sculpt. I have two kind of different textures. I have this main texture of the shell of the horn, and then I have a subtexture that you can kind of see along right here. So I do want to make sure that when I am painting, I accent the difference in those subtextures versus painting over them, because I went to the trouble of sculpting the two different textures. I want to make sure that I'm emphasizing it. So I'm probably going to do it. I'm probably going to make this part lighter and brush it so it's just a little bit shiny. But probably use, I need to reinforce this with freeform air. I'm probably going to use the same painting idea. Or painting kind of like colors for both of them. Okay, so that's a little too white. You can kind of see that's a little less brown than I want. So I'm going to add a little bit more brown. Go in, not much. Get in. There you go. There you go. Go in. There you go. Eek. I once had like nice like spatulas and stuff like that for like mixing paint. God only knows where those went. I think I added more white, which countered the brown I was adding. Add a little bit more brown. This is kind of like another part of having a new mold is figuring out how I want to paint it. At this point, I have painted so many of my mollymock horns that I can whip out the ratios of paint so fast. Like I don't even I don't even need to kind of like futz through it or anything like that. I'm just like, oh, I know I want this and then this and then this. But this is the first time I've painted this, so okay, yeah, so that's a little bit more brown. Okay. And basically I'm going from the edge at an angle so that I can be hitting all of the high points and missing all of the low points, because I don't want to erase the texture that I've spent ages sculpting into this. So I don't want to go straight this way, because that will put my bristles right into kind of the texture, the gouges that I've made in here. So if you look, if I go diagonally, it makes sure that the paint does not immediately go into those textures. And I am starting with the heaviest paint out here, which is where I plan on having kind of the lighter colors, and blending it in this way, just to kind of put the brightest colors where I want the brightest colors. So you'll see. And honestly, like the real trick to getting like really good like realism and stuff like that to horns like this is just to realize that natural organic features like horns and stuff like that, not only do they have a depth of color, so they've got a bunch of different colors, they're not just, you know, like brown and light brown, they're like all the different colors of brown, but they're also a much more of a like gradient, I guess. Like one of the best things you can do, pro tip, if you are face painting, is to have a splotchy, not like horrendously splotchy, but a lightly splotchy base coat that you then contour on top of. Because if you look at your skin, like you look at your skin, this is not all the exact same color. I've got like parts that are a little lighter. I've got, of course, the freckles. No freckles up here where they're cute, just weird freckles on my arm. Anyway, there's darker parts, there's lighter parts, and like you can see that they're like there's a natural splotchiness to skin. And so like one of the things that I kind of see, and I've done myself before, that beginning like face painters and stuff, body painters, that they do wrong is they focus too hard on getting their bottom layer, their base layer, to be a solid uniform color. And then you get a paint job that it just looks fake. Like it just looks fake. And you know, it'll probably still look good, but there's just something about it. And you can probably go back. You can go back into my own cosplay history and look at it and look at the times that I've cosplayed a body painted character, and it's been very flat, and it feels very flat because our skin is a modeled texture or array of colors. So like when you're painting something that's organic, like let it be muddled, let it be a little mottled, it doesn't need to be like a solid color. You don't want it to be a solid color. Like you want it to have kind of that natural variation that you would see naturally. So it's a little hard to paint the inside. and you'll see that I am going so light with my dabbies. I'm trying to like build up color and texture and everything like that without darkening this too much. Oh, I say as I then. So annoying. Rude. Rude. I don't want you to be that dark. Well, that's fine. I'll just go in and make the surrounding areas a little lighter in response. So, and you can get away with painting something with just like 2 colors if you naturally build the gradient in. So like if I was only using this brown, I would something that hits like the highest, like I would be really heavy handed on the highest points and like dry brushing the other points to give it depth of texture while not having to use different colors. But I want this to be a little bit more dynamic than that. So I'm probably going to use multiple colors. Not a ton, mind you, but enough. One of the things when you're doing something for cosplay is you have to remember that a lot of times where you're taking pictures is not good. Like where you're taking pictures, there's usually not very good lighting. So you just need to be kind of like aware of that. And one of the ways that you can get around that is just by building the lighting into your outfit. You know, like this is the same premise as contouring. The reason contour is awesome is that contour literally tells where the light and shadows are going to be on your face. You're basically manipulating the light to make your face look the way that you want it, regardless of what the actual light is doing. So like, man, look at how nice that's bringing the texture out. I love it. I love it. My dry brush technique here is effective, but it's also really rough on the brushes. So if you have like really nice brushes, don't dry brush like I am, because the like rapid back and forth is not really good for your brush. But these are very cheap brushes, and I tend to go through them pretty fast. So I'm not the nicest to my brushes, unfortunately. I always say I'm going to change. I'm always like, no, I'm going to take better care of my brushes this time. Like I'm going to do it. I'm going to take better care of them. And then I never do. Then it's just right back to doing shit like that. Okay. So because I'm painting a set, I'm going to do each step at the same time on both. And the reason is twofold. One, I've already got the paint mixed up. So I want to use the exact same paint. It's very hard to get to the exact same shade of paint if you're like remixing it. And two, it keeps me, I don't get all the way through and then forget how I painted or what I did to paint this other one. Amorin says, as someone who's only cosplayed their Twi'lek officially like 3 times, good to know about texture. Yes, seriously, like your base layer, if it is a little splotchy, that's good. That's good. Keep that. You don't want like obviously like sponge marks or anything like that. You need it needs to be that balance between I obviously sponged this on or airbrushed it on or whatever, and like not solid, but literally the worst thing you can do is have a completely solid coat if you are cosplaying someone with realistic skin. If you are cosplaying a video game character or a cartoon character or something like that, like the gemstones from Steven Universe spring to mind. Like if you want that solid pink, you want that solid pink, and then you can contour on top, but you're going to look more cartoony, more like artistic, less realistic and more artistic if you do it that way. So like, again, cosplay whatever way you want. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm just saying if you are going for a realistic look, get it a little muddled. Or don't worry about being solid. Like you want that natural variation. So, and honestly, if you want to be just a solid yellow or solid purple with no variation, you do you. You do you. Like I said, I'm not here to tell anyone how they are cosplaying is like the wrong way. In my opinion, there is only one way to cosplay wrong, and that's when you are in cosplay and your cosplay hurts other people, either because of your actions or the cosplay or whatever. That's the only time you are doing cosplay wrong, is if your cosplay hurts other people. Otherwise, do whatever you want. The only way to cosplay wrong by not cosplay. Yeah, but at the I wouldn't say you're cosplaying wrong. That's like you're cosplaying a normal human, which we all cosplay a normal human ish most of the time. So like you're doing a boring, I don't think you're cosplaying wrong. I think you're just doing a boring cosplay is all I'm saying. You're cosplaying an extra. And who wants to do that? Be the main character. Main character energy. Let's go. I feel like it's probably a bad idea to start encouraging a bunch of aesthetically, attentionally minded people to consider themselves more main character. I do feel like in cosplay, we do have a lot of issues with people having a little too much main character energy, if you know what I mean. like you good, but also like bring it down a notch, you know? Like you are the main character of your life, but like maybe remember that not everyone is on the same channel as you are, you know? Some people are fucking on Netflix, some people are on TikTok. Like Jago says, who said that I'm just cosplaying a normal human? I am a regular normal human. Sure you are. That's why you're here. Because you're normal. I believe you. Could you believe me that I believed you? Because it's very important to me that you believed that I believed that you believe that. They don't know that we know that they know that we know that they know. I don't even like that show. And the fact that like that's in my lexicon is my sister's fault. Because she likes that show. So I blame her for any quoting that happens. There we go. I think I need to bring my light up just a little bit. It's a little dark for me. I can't imagine it's not dark for you guys. Can I? Yes? Are we good? Okay. Every week I think to myself, oh, I need to watch my stream back to make sure everything looked good and everything sounded good and like there weren't any awkward bits. And then every week I don't. I mean, I guess every other week technically because I haven't streamed every week, but I don't know. We're going to see next week when I stream 7 Days to Die. I mean, I could just like stream the game without seeing me, but I kind of think it's fun to see the person who's playing, you know? So I'm like, all right, I gotta get something together where you all can watch me as I spend several hours changing out triangles to find the perfect triangle for that part of the base. It will be riveting gameplay, guys. It will be riveting. We might do some missions. I am also like end game though, so like doing missions is mostly just watching me run around with a ridiculously powerful machine gun mowing down like way too many zombies. Like there's not much danger. I haven't died to any of the missions in a really long time. I'd like to say I haven't died since like day 80, but I was doing a horde in my one of my bases is called the Holy Spirit base, and it's because it's in an old church, and there are like there's like a line of electric traps, electric fences, and then a line of pews, and then a line of electric fences, and then the fighting position is at the front of the church where the pulpit is, or supposed to be. And it's called the Holy Spirit base because when the zombies jump over the pews, they hit the electric fences and they go for a few seconds before they jump over the next set of pews and go. So I call it the Holy Spirit base because all the zombies are all like while I'm shooting them. So, but the point of the story was that I have turrets around the top, and I was in the middle, and all the zombies were on one side, so the turrets were shooting past me towards the zombies. And friendly fire is a thing in this game, so my own turrets shot me and killed me. Tell me that is not bullshit. Tell me that is not bullshit. Over 100 days I went without dying in this game. And then I died because my own turrets couldn't not target me. Like, what the heck? Oh, I was so mad. You can ask Mission Control. I was mad. I was heated. I was like, that's some bullshit. Felt like Harry in Resident Alien. This is some bullshit. I was so mad. I was like, those are my own turrets. My own turrets ruined my life. Literally my life streak. They ruined it. But yeah, I haven't died to zombies in over 100 days on this game. So there's not a lot of danger to my play, but I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. I've got two little turrets that go around with me, and then a little droid, a little drone. It's a lot of fun. Mostly I like base building games. I have something like 200 hours in Subnautica, which if you've played Subnautica, you know that it's like a 15-hour game, maybe 30 if you're like really taking your time. So the fact that I have like 200 hours in it is not like a little concerning. But I just really like base building in Subnautica. And so like I built this ridiculous base that has aquariums, and each room has a different aquarium with different plants and stuff like that from the different biomes, and different animals from the different biomes. So it's like each biome had its own little aquarium. And I spent way too long. That was a ridiculously large base. Ridiculously large. But yeah, that's when I find a game that I really like, I go hard on it. I go hard on it. That's just how it do be. there are a few games that I can like, you know, like jump back and forth on. Like Repo is one that every so often I'm just like, I just want to play Repo for a little bit. Usually it's after watching the SemiWorks, the people who created Repo, the developers of Repo, watching them do something ridiculous. And I'm like, all right, I need to go play this game. Like for April Fools, they announced a new game called Pico. And it was Peak, but they'd made a Peak level in the Repo engine. It was so funny. And I was told that Peak's developers did something that called out Repo, which I think is adorable. But I could not find it on YouTube. And then I got bored and gave up. So I have not seen it. Jingo says, I hope you learned a valuable lesson. Yeah, the valuable lesson is that my turrets are dicks. That's the lesson I learned. Don't trust my turrets. It's probably good that I learned that lesson, though, because, like, one of the things I want to do is I want Thermo Cosplay to play 7 Days to Die. And I want to do Horde every night. So, like the hardest day, I want it to be every night. And I just want to throw her into the various bases with no explanation. But I want it to still be fun for her. So I don't like all of the bases I've made, I've tested out a bunch of different times so that I kind of know that, you know, they are like they'll work reasonably well. So it was kind of good that I died to my turret so that I can make a mental note to tell her, you know, don't stand in the middle here. Okay, so I've mixed up a bit of a lighter brown, and now I'm going in and I'm going to bring up the light parts a little bit more. So you saw last time I did all the way down each like little crevice or each little like jutty part. And this time I'm not. I'm only going to go like 2/3 to 1/3 of the way down. And that's because I want to build up the lights and I want to have a good gradient. So you can kind of see that I'm hitting the highest points with the lightest colors to just kind of, again, going back to that whole, a big part of cosplay is telling the light how you want it to hit your cosplay, how you want it to look on your cosplay. And a lot of that is contouring, and we're just contouring our little duty dude. Just contouring. Whoops, I don't want that. All right, that's fine. But yeah, when you go to like Etsy shops like mine and you're like, oh my God, $100 for those horns. This is why, because each set of horns I do is literally hand painted. It's literally just me sitting there talking to you guys, doing the details. I don't have a machine to do it for me. It's just me. Just me. Okay. I'm going to build this one up a little bit more. And these horns, I am trying to build up a like subtle gradient because, like I said, I want them to stay this dark brown. I like this dark brown. I just want to add contouring to it. I just want to show the light where I want it to be hitting to bring out the best parts of it. I'm starting where I want it to be lightest, which is right on the edge here, and then pulling it down in. Elmoran says, my brain sees cool things on Etsy and says, man, that's expensive. Not because I don't appreciate all the hard work going into it, because I'm too poor to buy all the coolest. Yeah, that is the hard, like that, like I understand, as someone who is not, you know, super well off either, it can be a struggle to both pay artists what they're worth and, you know, pay your own bills. I will say that when you get a chance to spend money on a homemade thing, just know that that money is going to somebody like you, you know, somebody who is just trying to do what they love. So when you are able to spend money on Etsy as opposed to like Amazon or something like that, you know, Jeff Bezos doesn't fucking care if you spent $20 on Etsy or on Amazon. But if you spend that $20 on Etsy, guaranteed that person not only notices, but is much, much more excited to have that $20. I know whenever I hear my Etsy tone go off, the cha-ching that I've made a sale, no matter what, it stops me in my tracks and makes me happy. So, you know, it's take care of yourself. Cosplay is just a luxury, but also if you have money to spend on a luxury, you know, spend it on Etsy. Well, on some shops on Etsy. There's a lot of drop shippers on Etsy now, which sucks because like I can't even say, oh, go on Etsy and you'll find somebody who, you know, really appreciates your money, because there's so many drop shippers now that like it's kind of like Amazon all over again, which sucks because it makes it so hard for people like me. Like Etsy is my primary way of making money. And when you have a ton of drop shippers, people who want actual handmade goods can't tell the difference between drop shippers and like actual artisans. And then they get like a crappy quality piece and then they go, oh, I'm never buying on Etsy again because that was a waste of my money. And it's like, it wasn't a waste of your money. You were lied to by a drop shipper is what it was. So, but. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm basically just, I keep like moving where you guys can't see me. I'm sorry. Once I start getting in the zone, it's hard for me to pay attention to other things. Yeah, I know. I know it's dinner time. Can you guys please just wait? Wait. I want to finish painting these. Yeah. The dogs are not convinced that they should wait. They're not convinced. They are unconvinced. I try to spend my monies on stuff from cosplayers I follow when you can. And I guarantee that they appreciate it a lot more than fucking Bezos or Musk does. That's for sure. I had a friend the other day who was with me when my Etsy dinged. And I was like, oh, I can buy dog food now. Django says, telling a poor starving dog to wait. Oh, don't encourage them. They don't need it. They're so cute. They get away with things on their own. Almoran says, my puppy doesn't know that she can wait either. Yeah, well, they know that it's getting close to food o'clock. And so they don't understand why food is not happening at this precise moment. It's because this precise moment I am still in the middle of something. I will probably end the stream once I'm done painting these. So like probably 10-15 minutes. So if you have any questions or anything like that, get them in now. Not that you guys have been not allowed to ask questions or anything like that. I don't know, maybe you feel like you've been not allowed to ask questions. And I'm here to tell you, ask the question. The worst that's going to happen is I'm going to ignore it. Is that the worst, or is the worst me laughing at the question if it was like a serious question? Is that worse? I don't know. I guess it depends on how bad your social anxiety is. Where is your rejection sensitivity? High or low? Jacob says it has been a longer stream, which is nice. Yeah, it's hard because like a lot of times what I can do is it's hard to do it on camera just because like I need so much space, or like it's hard for me to stay in one place working on something. I generally need to like, you know, pop around and stuff like that. So it is nice when I have just like painting that I can just sit here and chill. Normally I would be listening to a documentary about airplane crashes or the Titan submersible and how fucked up that all was, or nuclear disasters. I like nuclear disasters a lot. And you'll notice I'm trying to be very deliberate about where I place the brightest, because I'm really trying to like enhance the texture and not hide it. Like I really want to highlight how this looks versus hiding it. I know some people paint their horns with airbrushes, and that is amazing to me because I do not know how I would paint these with an airbrush. Like, I genuinely don't. Okay. Get in there. All right. All right. Those are looking pretty good. Side by sides. Yeah. We're moving right along. And now I'm just going to hit just the highest with the lightest. Would you stream next week? Junior, I'm going to stream next week this time, but I'm going to be playing a video game. Almoran says, go pro stream the adventurous randomness of an Amber Brite. Who knows where we'd end up. Yeah, sometimes we talk about some weird stuff. Like every so often, Turco's like, do you remember sexy dodos? And I'm like, yes, I remember the tangent that we went on where we talked about how dodos are not sexy. Jenga says, you really like Murder and Chaos. I do have escapism of not being afraid of conflict. Almoran says, I've got an airbrush, still haven't fully figured out how to use it. They're hard. Junior says, let's play Fallout. No. I don't want to play Fallout. I'm sorry, babe. I'm going to play 7 Days to Die, though, which is kind of like Fallout. I don't know. I don't know if it is like Fallout. I've never played Fallout. I like the TV show. Okie dokie. All right, I have this one. I want to switch to a smaller one. Yay! I have a smaller one. Oops. Small and soft. This is what I want. Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to hit the highest parts with this like really light color. Because I just want... Just want to really highlight this middle a little bit. And you can see how little it takes of white to really like pop this color. And this isn't even like true white. This is just like a whitish brown. So I'm also working the white along the edges a little bit too, along these. Not a lot because I really want like the center to like I really want this to be the light part, but this is like this is going to help tie it in and help this stand out a little bit too. Ah, yeah. Okay. And I'm just like dry brushing with just the smallest amount of white just to build it in and make it pop. When I get done with this one, we'll compare so you guys can see just how much just a tiny amount of white can make. Oliver, you are not dying. I promise you are not dying. Swear. Oh, there he goes. Hey, Mission Control. Will you help Oliver get out? I think he needs to pee. Thank you. He Oliver, the rescue dog, doesn't do really well with our tile. So sometimes he needs someone to kind of rescue him from the tile. Yeah. I know, Oliver. Okay. All right. Oops. That was a bit lighter than I wanted, but that's fine. The nice things about these two is if I make a mistake on the paint that I really don't like, I can just hide it with some jewelry because I will have jewelry on these horns. These will be decorated. You're going to have to come get him. He won't do the tile.
I need another runner for you. Yeah.
My poor, delicate little rescue dog. I just caused some serious chaos over there. All right. Oh, rare mission control cameo. Rare mission control cameo. Okay. All right. So let's compare the two. You see this one has the little bit of white on it. This one does not. And you can kind of see how even in the same light, this one just looks like it has a lot more depth to it because you can kind of see the detailing a little bit better. And that's the benefit of doing kind of like the highlights and stuff like that. Like you really want to like be able to tell the light where you want it to show up on your prop. Okay. I'm almost done. Sorry, I'm running a little late. Yay, you did it! Are you planning to go to any upcoming cons this year? Yeah, so I will be at Phoenix Fan Fusion in the first weekend of June, I think it is. And then I will probably be doing Tucson Comic Con. I don't know as we'll be doing any out-of-state cons. I'd love to get back to Texas. It's been ages since I've been at Texas. But my two things make traveling kind of hard right now. And the first is that I keep having really bad migraines. Like I said, I lost 5 days of to migraines last week. We went on a family trip. Oh, hello. In June, and I spent half of it in the cabin laid up with a migraine. It sucked. It sucked to have paid all that money and to spend all that time flying across country to enjoy a vacation, and I didn't get to enjoy it because I was in so much pain. So that makes it hard. And the other thing is having a foster dog. It's hard to travel unless the foster dog is stable. Thankfully, Oliver is pretty stable, but if we don't have Oliver, if we have a different, foster dog, I foster medically, like medical cases, like dogs that would be euthanized in the shelter system due to medical issues. So sometimes I have dogs that are just not in a great way. So friends have been begging me to come south for some cons, just can't right now. Yeah. It also doesn't help that, like gas is $5 a gallon, and that's just ridiculous. So Erin, say hi to Honey Bunny. Honey Bun. Yeah. She is unimpressed with my petting job, but also she wants attention, but also she doesn't want me to be petting her right now. She mostly wants food. Yeah. Can I finish, please? Can I finish? Yeah. I would love to pay $5 per gallon on gas. Oh God, is it even higher where you are? Are you in LA? Because I know friends that had to pay $8 a gallon in LA, which is ridiculous. Like, Jesus, like. Makes it very hard to go places when like the cost of going places is so bad. Child, I need you to not be on the 3D printer. Q. Can you please get off my 3D printer? She says no. She says no, I cannot. Sorry, cannot. Trying to get Honey Bun to do stuff is a bit like telling the sun what to do. The sun's going to do exactly what it's going to do, and that's it. She is a force of nature, and she's eating a ribbon. Goober, I live in Germany. Oh, that's right. Pay $2.20 per liter, $1.90 per liter. Are you both UK? I can't do those conversions. Babes, it's like almost 9 o'clock at night where I am. I'm too dumb to do math that quickly. Did I say you're both in UK, or did I say both in European? Lauren is Canadian. Ooh. Are you East Coast Canadian or West Coast Canadian? Or the middle that nobody cares about Canadian? I can say that. I grew up in upstate New York. We were almost honorary Canadians ourselves. In fact, I have been to Canada more times than I've been to New York City because Canada was closer. Right. Hi, are you back? Yeah, are you back? She is back. Euro is like $1.20 or 1.220. The middle that no one cares about. See, I told you. I told you. And she's gone. All right, well, I hope you all liked seeing Honey Bun because she has decided that we are bored. And she cannot get food here, so she is outies. So. Janko, what time is it in Germany? Like, is it like in the middle of the night or is it like kind of early in the day? One of my best friends is in Australia, and it's always fun trying to figure out not only what day, well, like what time, but like what day it is for him, because he is ahead of us on days. So like, I'll be like, oh, you know, have a fun Friday, and he's like, no, Friday's over. It's Saturday now. And I'm like, oh, right. So it's very fun having a friend who is in a completely different time zone. Like not even close to being the same time zone. So I'm just kind of blending in my highlighting a little bit. Just giving all the way around a little bit of a go. So that way it looks good all the way around. All right. Okay, here we go. This is what they look like. They should photograph really well. I'm really happy with it. The final touch is I'll probably go in and like lightly run these ridges with like a light pearl color. Not white specifically, but a pearl color because a pearl is more like of a tan shine. So I'll probably run a pearl color on just the edges so that has just a little bit of shimmer. I don't want to do too much because these are going to have jewelry and stuff on them, so I don't want to take away from the jewelry. But I cannot believe I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I am tired and I'm hungry, so I'm going to mosey on off. Thank you, everyone who stayed, especially the people who stayed through the end. I know it's kind of a little bit late and not the most exciting to watch me paint in a crappy quality phone or camera. Junior asked, what's for dinner? That's a great question. I've got to go figure it out. I don't know. Something. I have chicken defrosted. So chicken something is what will be for dinner. Callie, you want to come say hi? Come say hi. Everyone want to say hi to the dog? All right, Kelly Pepper. Come here, Kelly Pepper. Come on, up, up. Come on, up. Come up. Come on. Come on. Come on. You don't have a problem with this most times. Come here. Come here. All right, well, Oliver, can I lift you up? I don't know as you'll be able to do this. Okay. All right. Everyone, this is Oliver. Yep. So everyone say hi to Oliver. Everyone say good luck on getting a forever home, Mr. Oliver. Yeah, she's such a good boy. Okay, I'll let you get down. I'm sorry. I know that probably hurts with your back legs. I know. Probably you're being standoffish. Okay, so thank you everyone who hung out with me. Please feel free to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Meta, Threads, YouTube, and Twitch at Amber Brite or Amber Brite Props. On all of those, please check out my website at amberbriteprops.com for tutorials, products, announcements, cosplay galleries, and Star Wars sheets if you ever want to use one of my OCs in your homebrew tabletop game. There are sheets for, I think, Rio, who is my Mandalorian. There's a sheet for Elira, who is my brothel slash spice mogul slash secret dealer. And I think there's a sheet for Deshala, who is just an airhead. Like, she's just a floozy. All right. She's just, like, don't have high expectations for Deshala. She has 0 wisdom, 0 intelligence, maxed out charisma, and maxed out luck. And that's Deshala. So don't have high hopes for her. She's a great damsel in distress, though, because she's not usually distressed, but she's usually, like, she should be. She usually should be. So please check those out if you want to use any of them in your homebrew or your tabletop games. I will be streaming again next week, probably a little bit earlier than I did today, because honestly, finishing at 9 is fucking killing me. This is too late. I'm too tired. So we'll probably do 6 to 8 my time. But please feel free to comment anything that you'd like to see in the future. If you like seeing the painting and you want me to do more in-depth tutorials, if there's a specific painting style that you guys would like to see, if you want to see more of how I cast things, how I build things, if there's something about the process and art of cosplay that you are just dying to know about, let me know and I will see if I can't pull back the curtain a little bit and let you see how just ridiculous and insane most cosplays are. So thank you again. Stay curious, stay kind, and your homework for this week is to go pet 5 dogs and tell them that they are good boys or girls. Next week, there will be a pop quiz, so make sure you do your homework. All right. Love you all. Bye, guys. Stay bright. This is my little, like, I know no one does hearts like this anymore, but God damn it, I can't do the, yeah, no, I can't do it. So, all right. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye, guys. I'm gonna end the stream. End the